Harvey Milk was a remarkable man who was hard-working and determined. He knew what his passions were and he fought long and hard for what he believed in. It may have taken him many routes to get where he was meant to end up, but he eventually was able to make his mark. He started out his education to get a degree in education to become a teacher. As soon as he graduated, he moved on to join the Navy and was lieutenant grad. After 4 years, his sexuality was questioned, and he quit and moved back to New York to begin his teaching career. He continued his teaching career a few short years while his love for politics grew stronger. Harvey became more active in the politics world as an activist and advocated ever since the Vietnam War. He decided to pick up and move to Castro Street in California. This was a growing but small town that was a major LGBTQ community. This is where Harvey and his partner moved to and opened up a camera shop together. Harvey became well known in this area from his shop and activism. When the community became unsafe for gay people to live in at times, they wore whistles to blow, and when they were in trouble, others would come to help. This is when Harvey decided he wanted to make a bigger change so he could run for city supervisor in 1973. He lost this election in 1973, but this did not stop him. He decided to run in 1975 for the same position and lost for the second time. After this loss, he ran in 1976 against the Assembly and lost, but ended the election with more votes than he had ever received in any election. After running in 1977 election, Harvey Milk was finally elected for supervisor on November 7, 1977. He began his journey in 1978. His win created a big celebration, especially within his own community in Castro Street, California. His first action in office was to create a bill that supported gay rights. This was not supported by all in office, especially Dan White, a white male that was also in office. Issues in schools were being raised by communities that teachers who were gay were teaching students ways of being gay, so they were being fired because of their sexual orientation. Harvey was the first to make a stand by traveling and debating those who thought different. The bill for gay rights was taken to court. There were 10 votes for yes and 1 for no, Dan White. A pride parade began in honor of those votes. Communities and the people were then to vote on this bill now. The bill was passed and voted in by the majority leading Dan White to leave his seat in office. After a day of leaving his chair, he regretted his decision immensely and wanted to come back. Mayor George Mascone was up for re-election the next year and felt as though his position would be jeopardized if allowing Dan White back in. He denied his return in the meeting with Mr. White and pulled out a gun and assassinated the mayor in his own office. He then moved on to meet Harvey Milk in his office. Dan did not allow much talking to happen before he assassinated Harvey Milk. Dan White was only sentenced to 5 years due to what his lawyers called a chemical imbalance due to the amount of junk food he had eaten. This was later referred to as the Twinkie defense. He was charged with manslaughter of 2 deaths. This award-winning film, Milk, was made in 2008 and represents Harvey Milk and all of the great things that he had done and accomplished in his lifetime. Since this tragic event, Harvey Milk has had many awards and dedications made in his name for the wonderful contributions he has made in this community and world around him.